What's up, Laker fans? Welcome to today's film session, which is on the Lakers' preseason win against Milwaukee. And a couple of things that stood out to me. We're going to cover the value of having AD on the perimeter, which is going to be our first topic here. Some of the zone defense stuff that we're seeing. Bobby Portis going crazy. And then, of course, the man of the hour, Quincy Olivari at the end. And I think we got a couple of things mixed in there as well. But let's get started with... We've seen AD locked into the rim protector role a ton over the last couple of years. And so we've seen more and more this preseason, Redick using him out on the perimeter. I want to show some of the value of that. All right, so here we got Max on the ball. They're initiating their first set, and we've got Rui matched up with Giannis, which is eventually where this play is going for, right? And so AD is pressed up on the perimeter on a shooter in Lopez. Got Prince cutting through with LeBron guarding him. Now you see Rui swipes at the ball right there and doesn't get it. And Giannis, of course, is looking to drive. Now, this is a weak position for the Lakers in terms of having AD pulled away from the paint, a great rim threat. How do the Lakers win these possessions? To me, they've got to win the ground game, right? And so he's going to dribble through this window. AD's going to dig. AD can get the steal, but doesn't get that one. And now, ideally, LeBron rotates up a little bit more, and when he is not in a preseason game and in a higher intensity game, a lot of times he will make that rotation. He doesn't, but Rui staying attached and forcing Giannis to his left, forces the miss, and then here's part of the value. AD being able to swoop down from the perimeter and grab rebounds instead of being the player that's being boxed out, that can help out a lot. All right. This next play, we've got AD one-on-one with Giannis. Obviously, we've seen this many times. Just wanted to show this play. Great play by AD. Again, defending on the perimeter, able to disrupt. Now, this play, similar type of thing where we saw Giannis attack on the first play. Same type of action, right? Torian cutting through. Max defending Dame in a lock and trail position in the corner. Rui on the ball. AD guarded out on a Lopez. Instead of attacking, we're going to flow into a handoff from Giannis to Dame. Again, watch Max on the upper part of the screen. Good lock and trail technique, staying attached and on the hip. And then good team defense here by Rui. Make it uncomfortable. Good stuff by Rui by stepping up high enough to bother the shot, make Dame feel you, but not stepping under his feet and drawing the foul. So good team defense by Rui executing the game plan. That opens up the short roll to Giannis. And then LeBron does make that rotation, that little jump stop, meet the defender as the low man rotator above the restricted area. Then both AD and D'Lo know to drop to the level of the ball. D'Lo's the player that is defending too, so his job is to both sandwich Lopez, but also get out to Gary Trent Jr. if the ball gets skipped that way, right? And then AD, again, that's part of the value of having him on the perimeter is he can get off-ball deflections. Like, he gets to passes and shots that other players don't get to. And opponents are not used to, it's like, oh, I'm used to that pass going through, and it doesn't with AD. So here's another one where we have a peel-off switch, right? I don't think that was the intent on this play necessarily was to switch from the beginning, but that's how it worked out on a little double high ball screen for Dame. He chooses to go right and attacks the AD direction. And so now Max's job is to front that post, fight for position. But look at this with AD guarding Dame. At Dame's size, it's hard to make this pass. He knows Lopez is open or open-ish, but finding the passing angle is extremely difficult. So AD putting ball pressure and having active hands, like AD actually uses his length in ways that a lot of players with length don't. And so he can get that on-ball steal as we zoom out a little bit. Then these are free points. I love this shot by D'Lo. He doesn't make it, but he knows that he's got numbers and that's an easy putback for connect. So smart play right here to ride it up. But yeah, having AD out on the perimeter, you can exert some ball pressure. I love it. We're playing some zone defense, and look at this with AD at the top. Now, I want to point out that we have Jackson on the bottom layer. This is sort of a 1-2-2 zone with AD at the top. Teams will do that with their biggest, best athletes sometimes, but it's a lot more common on like the high school level. So seeing us do this, particularly with two big lineups, because if you're too aggressive with AD, obviously the yard is not protected, but having another big in there, this is the time to do that. And so we've got a big lineup with Gabe at the 1, Connect at the 2, LeBron at the 3, AD 4, Hayes 5. And so AD, I think, has a tendency to overhelp toward the paint and sag too far off of shooters. He does not make this shot, but this isn't a good contest, right? See, that's a pretty clean look right here. So this is sort of a teaching point, I think, with AD this year. But part of it is going to be habit in that he's not used to having help behind him the last few years. So when bigs feel that way, a lot of times they will default to what they know and default to protecting the paint, which I get. But AD doesn't need to shut that gap down as hard, I don't think. But AD can be super disruptive when he does this. Here he jumps out at Portis, who is already on fire at this point, gets him to shuffle his feet, forces a traveling violation. Now, Milwaukee solved this 1-2-2 zone. I always talk about the entry points on the podcast. Here, they go at Gabe with Giannis. The power player's go-to move off of a dribble is going to be a spin move, right? So he's going to drive hard one direction, spin back the other way. And so Gabe is good at staying in front, but the spin moves kind of neutralize a smaller player's ability to do that, especially if you can do it with power. And there's pretty much nobody, maybe Zion, who does it with the same type of power that Giannis does. And so he breaks down the defense. Connect is a little late in dropping to the level of the ball, but this all happens very fast. We're watching this at half speed, so that would have been a good block by Connect if he read that, but I don't blame him then there. So that's just Milwaukee getting the Lakers out of that 1-2-2 zone. But I love the fact that the Lakers are doing that. Zones are not intended for like a permanent, we're going to do this the whole game type of coverage. All right, so that was some of the good. The transition defense, and obviously Giannis really tests you on this front, but this is an area that I am concerned about the Lakers, and I think that the team will need to be really on top of their stuff to not have this be a place where they can get hurt. All right, so we got nice layup to D'Lo. You should not give up a fast break off of a made basket. First mistake here, as we rewind it, Rui is matched up with Giannis right here. You see he gets back on defense. If you have Giannis, you can't give him a runway. That much space right there, and Giannis sees it. Like, Giannis is over here. You have to pick him up, because if he gets ahead of steam, you're dead. Like, very few players in the league can stay in front of that once he gets ahead of steam. So it's a matter of not letting him get ahead of steam in the first place. All right, let's see what we have next. All right. Poor offensive night by AD. And then, he's just behind the play. He doesn't run. And then same idea with Rui. But this happens a lot where AD gets beat down court. Right? See where he is right here? And then watch where AD is by the end of the play, right? He's way behind the ball. It's preseason, I get it, but this is something that happens in the regular season too. And then, if we focus on Rui, again, I don't really blame him for that, but again, Giannis getting ahead of steam like this, extremely difficult. Rui had no chance there. Never had his hips squared to Giannis. Same idea, 80 falling down. If you got a guy on the ground, that's a 5-on-4. And so Dalton has a tendency to get turned, but again, you let Giannis get ahead of steam. And then we had 4 pick sixes. I think they scored 8 points where it was a live ball turnover that turned into a dunk. So all told, I think they had 56 or 58 points at halftime. Our half-court defense was excellent because we gave up a bunch of points on just like, you can't blame the defense for points like these. These are points that are on the offense. And then just bad transition defense accounts for a lot of the points. So zoom through these last pick sixes before we get to the next topic. Max had a couple. We'll talk more of Max's processing speed in a different, as we fast forward through. Nice shot. All right. Bobby Portis just kicked our ass. Going back to AD, I love having him on the perimeter, but this is an example of him sagging too far off of a shooter. Portis is already hot at this point, and I'm zooming in on this weak side of the play where AD just kind of falls asleep and then lets him relocate from the wing to the top without reacting very late to it. And again, by this time, Portis is already on fire, so that's an easy shot. But, and then here's another one. Overhelp into the paint, right? I get it's Giannis, but like that's LeBron, and that's too much space for a guy who, again, is hot. And that's a late reaction as well. This one, I'm like, Dalton gets his hand up a split second too late. Most of Portis' shots, it's like, this isn't bad defense. It's just a great shot. And so it is what it is. But yeah, Portis went crazy. Certainly a split second late. And there is a certain amount of, and the Lakers were irritating about this last year too, where it's like, hey, this guy's hot. We should probably address it. But the Lakers come back after falling behind quite a bit in the late third quarter, early fourth. Quincy Olivari came into the game and really flipped the momentum. We're going to start on a corner crash. Here he is at the bottom part of the screen, number 41 here. And let's watch as this corner crash develops. Connect ends up taking a shot from the opposite corner. Now, first off, corner crashes are always going to be usually going to be from the weak side corner. They can be strong side for sure. And watch how it develops. Don't crash the boards into this whole mass of humanity here. Don't add yourself as the sixth body to this cluster. But if the ball bounces out into this open space right here, that should be yours. And Olivari basically gets there, bounces long and didn't take a great angle, but he hustled toward it. And that was a big part of his night, is he just played his ass off and has a ton of speed. Nice attack of the closeout by Maxwell Lewis there with the lefty finish. He was general pain in the ass on the ball, forcing a couple of turnovers and just being generally irritating and disruptive. Here he actually gets backpicked and should have given up an alley-oop. But a little bit of kismet, you could tell it was his night, right? Gets backpicked, but turns it into a three in transition. All right, again, some ball pressure here. I do think he forces a turnover here. But he's got some speed and lateral agility. And just plays with the level of zip. Played a lot of the one spot. Maxwell Lewis does not succeed in his closeout attempt this time, but I like that skip pass. Hold on, let's watch that skip from Olivari again. So this is a lefty skip pass. Across court. Not really lefty, two-handed pass, but across his body, accurate. Good stuff. Here he's sprinting to his spot, right? Okay, this is super important. This is very a coachy thing, but there are so many guards who run this play and they just jog to the wing spot because they know that it's not a scoring opportunity for them. But these are all timing plays, and you have to have a certain amount of zip to that. So just the fact that now he's getting ball pressured, but the fact that he dribbles with some zip over to that spot helps this play go because Connect has that zip too, and so does Castleton. So it's like, that looks like good basketball. We've seen so much like deep bench garbage. Watch this play. This is well executed. Nice back pick by Dalton. Colin flips the screening angle. Pull up midi. Let's go. Hustle down, track down that loose ball, right? Show off your speed. You got Andre Jackson Jr. on you. Then he's going to ball pressure you. Make him pay. Make him pay for that. All right. Oh, I love this move. And then he gets the big switched onto him. And he's like, I'm going to use my speed against him. So watch the dance. Let me go one frame at a time. This is the point. He's like, I'm going to go at this guy. Then it's a matter of moving him from side to side, front to back, and then you see all of his weight on that back foot trying to move forward, right? But he can't break down his momentum until he gets to there. And Oliveri's already stepped back. Let's go. Look at him, all excited. Bench starting to feel it. Really nice step-up screen by Colin, by the way. Got Jackson off of him and created that play. Coming out of the timeout, Quincy applying some ball pressure. Let's go. Yeah. And see, I love this too. He's having, the best moment of his career, of his very early professional career right now. He's already thinking, though, this is what we're doing on the next play. There's a level of mental engagement that he had that I really appreciated along with that zip. Then look at this. This is a super important type of action in the style of offense that we're running. You'll notice a lot of times somebody will be holding the ball in triple threat position in the new offense that we're running, with like Dalton is right here. And there's going to be guys screening off of each other. They got to read opposite of each other. So think of it this way. Castleton is the screener. Quincy is also a screener. And then he's going to do the opposite of whatever Armel Traore does. So Traore goes to the basket. Boom. He curls right around that right there. And this shot, this footwork right here, the ability to come off a screen, jump stop, side to side, stop your momentum, and go straight up with it. Very crucial shot in this style of basketball. Boom. Great jump stop. Oh, yeah, and then tracks down this rebound. Use your speed. There's a lot to be said for playing with pace. But one of those paces as a guard has to be full throttle acceleration. And nice finish. Double, triple clutch there. Good stuff. And this is a super smart play, right? They're trying to pressure him. They're trying to get back in the game after the Lakers' 20-0 run, largely caused by Olivari. A little hook on the calf, or on the thigh right there. And then he's like, what? What'd I do? It's a foul call. I love it. All right. This play is funny. It starts with him yelling at Maxwell Lewis. First, you've got Colin Castleton right here going, and everybody's looking toward the corner, as is Quincy at the top of the half-court mark. This is supposed to be one of the Horns plays we're running. Dalton's supposed to be in the corner, and Maxwell Lewis is supposed to be on the other elbow. Maxwell Lewis is in the corner, so they're like, oh, crap. And then the action's supposed to be he comes off of this screen right here. So they are finally able to get into the play. Olivari knows to not start the play until that action happens. Good screen by Colin. And then this is a good read right here. It's also Colin setting a good screen. If you want to get yourself open as a young player, set a good screen. The result of the play, good chance that you have a good shot at the end of it. Now, this is where also I love Dalton's gravity, is that this is a decision point for a defender of, do I chip on Castleton, who's rolling to the basket for the lob? If I do, that means Connect is going to get separation from me if I'm the defender. And so on other shooters, if you don't respect that shooter, you're going to sort of chip on Castleton almost the way an NFL running back would chip on a pass rusher. But he stays with him. Sorry, that was too fast. He stays with him and doesn't chip on Castleton. And now it's a 2-on-1. Quincy reads it perfectly. Throws it in the air. Let's go. Nice touch on that pass. So yeah, watch how fast all this happens. Very cool. All right, that's it. Thank you for joining me on this. You can support my work on Patreon or Venmo. Buy me a coffee. Tips are always appreciated. Really looking forward to this season. This has been fun doing these. I'm figuring out how I want to do them, so this style was a little different. A little late on this one, but hopefully you guys like it, and I will catch you guys next time.